We continue our reading of Turn Your Eyes Upon Jesus, an invitation to spend a year with your best friend, a daily devotional by author George R. Knight. Today's reading is August 21, and with this reading we start part 6, Turn Your Eyes Upon Jesus as the Crucified Lamb of God. The title of today's reading, The Final Trip to Jerusalem. When Jesus had finished all these sayings, he said to his disciples, "You know that after 2 days the Passover is coming, and the Son of Man will be delivered up to be crucified." Then the chief priests and the elders of the people gathered in the palace of the high priest, who was called Caiaphas, and took counsel together in order to arrest Jesus by stealth and kill him. But they said, "Not during the feast, lest there be a tumult among the people." Matthew 26, 1-5. The gospel story now shifts rapidly. Ever since Peter's confession that Jesus was the Christ, events have been moving toward the cross as Jesus sought to help the disciples understand what it meant for him to be the Christ. In that task, he has largely failed, but he has provided them with much instruction that will enable them to put it all together when they recall his words after the resurrection. In the meantime, we need to recognize that Jesus' death is not an epilogue or an appendix to his life. To the contrary, it is his death that makes his life meaningful. After all, Jesus came to earth so that he could give his life as a ransom for many. Matthew 20, verse 28. His blood was to be poured out for many for the forgiveness of sins. Matthew 26, 28. And it was through his death and resurrection that he would save his people from their sins. Matthew 1:21. Jesus' death is the focal point of the gospel. Thus, Martin Kaler's definition of the four gospels as passion narratives with extended introductions puts the emphasis in the right place. As Jesus makes his final journey to Jerusalem, his general teaching and healing ministry has ended. We find few words from his mouth except those to his disciples, especially at the Last Supper and his prayer in Gethsemane. Rather, we watch the drama as the Jews, with the aid of their Roman adversaries, put their Messiah on the cross. Jesus is not facing the cross as a pawn of events beyond his control. He knows what is going to happen, and he could have refused to take this one-way trip to Jerusalem. But the Bible pictures him to be in command of what happened. "I lay down my life that I may take it again," he tells his disciples. "No one takes it from me, but I lay it down of my own accord." John 10, 17 and 18. But even though Jesus is in charge and his knowledge of what is transpiring, that does not mean that other forces are not maneuvering to bring about their own desired end. Official Jerusalem has rejected him and is working toward his death. This concludes our reading today of Turn Your Eyes Upon Jesus.